So my presentation is about social media, and my research question is how does social media affect the mental illness amongst teenagers and adolescents? So where did social media start? Social media started in 1970 where the first email was sent, in 1980 for birth of the screen name, 1990 blogging takes form, 2000s Friendstar social media is born, 2003 LinkedIn links professionals, in which this has become very popular nowadays. 2004 MySpace, where you were able to create your song and have your own personalized backdrop. 2004 Facebook was born. 2005 YouTube joins the party. 2006 Twitter gets off of the ground. 2008 Spotify. 2010 Instagram and Pinterest. Who uses cell phones the most? According to teens and mobile phones, cell phones have become the preferred channel of basic communication between teens. The frequency of the use of texting has overtaken the frequency of other common form of interaction with their friends. You no longer see teenagers interacting with one another unless they are at school and phones are not allowed. When you go to the mall, the teenagers are usually on their cell phone, just walking around. Even just like being at the mall, they can't stand without the cell phones. What are the top social media platforms? Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat are the top social media platforms for teens. So as I created a poll on Instagram, this was also accurate, but majority of them said Instagram and Snapchat because it was more friend to friend. It wasn't much of public. They believe Facebook is more for family. Twitter is more to take out their depression, as they said. Instagram is more to post their photos, and Snapchat was more on a daily basis, in which they prefer Snapchat more better than Instagram. 65% said Snapchat, and the rest said Instagram, which they believe that it was more personal rather than having strangers sometimes look at your stories. What exactly are the negatives of social media? So the first negative is cyberbullying. Second, high anxiety levels and depression. Third, change of behavior. Fourth, poor sleep quality. And fifth, low self-esteem. What exactly is cyberbullying? According to Teens and Dangerous Levels, a group of researchers based in Quebec, Canada found that about 59% of teenagers reported moderate exposure to bullying and 14% reported chronically high exposure, both in person and online. Students are being bullied for what they post. Sometimes even a close-up selfie can cause a person to become bullied because they'll just say, "Oh, this person doesn't know how to take photos. What is that? What exactly are you posting?" Even the way they dress, the way they talk, anything they do can possibly cause cyberbullying, and which is very important for parents to look into their children's cell phones or even ask, "How are you? What is going on?" and explain to them like cyberbullying is not okay. High anxiety levels and depression. Lurking on social media raises the anxiety levels. Sometimes you're curious to know what exactly you're looking for, but when you look for it, you don't it's something unexpected in which causes you high anxiety levels and depression, as I stated earlier. More time being spent on social media, the faster that anxiety is rising. So many oftentimes these people just spend their whole entire day on social media and they don't know the reality outside of social media. And I believe it's important for them to know what exactly is going on around them. And majority of them spend over 6 hours per day on social networking sites like Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram and Snapchat, which it's very high because there's 24 hours in a day. 6 of those hours are spent only on social media rather than interacting or doing something active. And so many of these individuals have changed their behavior and FOMO. Users change their behavior because many say they feel lost and out of control because they are not satisfied. And they feel lost because they do not know what is going on around them. Users are basing their life off of social media platforms such as Instagram and on the way social media influencers dress and buy. So in this case, many of the teenagers base their life off of like a celebrity they admire, like, oh, this celebrity is wearing Yeezys, this celebrity is wearing Gucci. And sometimes they cannot afford that. So they start changing their behavior in ways they're like, they start acting bad, they start acting like they can afford everything. And sometimes it's not who they really are. Like it changes their personality and different perspective in which once they realize their personality has changed, they're like, dang, that wasn't even me. And they also have a FOMO, a fear of missing out. I believe FOMO is extremely important now because everybody posts things on social media, even adults. And so everybody wants to be in that little ball where like, oh look, this is happening. Oh look, this is happening. They just want to be on top of this stuff and they don't want to be missing out anything. So this causes for them to change their behavior. Poor sleep quality and low self-esteem. They're busy on social media like at 12 a.m., 1 a.m., 2 p.m., 2 a.m. until like 3 a.m. And they're just overthinking what exactly is going on, how do I feel? Like they're just going through things are just going around their head. Depression, anxiety, comparing their self-image, thinking they're not good enough. So right here I put this picture over here because I believe it's very important because it says not talented enough, not smart enough, not good enough, not pretty enough. I feel like as a teenager, everybody went through that stage, and I can personally connect to it because so right here is poor sleep quality and low self-esteem. So they're busy on social media like at 12 a.m., 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., and they're overthinking, depression, anxiety, comparing their self-image, thinking they are not good enough. So many of the times people are just on social media looking like what exactly is going on, overthinking. They're like trying to like fulfill themselves with something and they don't know what exactly they want. So I think this picture over here is very important because it says not talented enough, not smart enough, not good enough, not pretty enough, and not good enough in general. And I feel like as a teenager, we all go through that stage where you feel like you are not enough. Like in my personal perspective, I saw many middle schoolers are like, oh, look, she's pretty. Like everybody wants to date her. The guys think that she's pretty. The girls are just out there. And like compared to like a quiet girl, she was just like, oh, like a quiet girl. They're just like, oh, look at that nerd. Look at this. Look at that. So it's like everybody just takes those comments in and they just leave them in for themselves. So I feel like it is important to talk to your child, or if you have a teenager, like, and to explain to them like it's okay to feel like it's okay to feel like this, but just think things are going to get better. What are some positives of social media? So it creates healthy behavior, self-esteem, and meet people and start a business. Healthy behavior and self-esteem motivates them to do things outside their comfort zone and allows them to be open. So as for example, if I see someone climbing a rock when they said they were scared of heights and they're out there doing it, so I feel like this encourages me to be like, if they can do it, I can do it. So you just have to have that positive perspective and like, oh, I can do it. I know I can do it. If this person did it, of course I can. Meeting people, meaning starting a business, reaching others for information, and helping one another through social media. I feel like this is very important, especially now on Instagram. There are many makeup artists as of right now, and there are many teenagers, guys and girls, who are very good at it. And I've seen people communicate with others, be like, hey, can you do my makeup? And they slowly start creating their own business, which they start doing something they love. I feel like this is very important because it allows them to grow as a person and it continues to meet people and interact, and this distracts them from being on social media. So I feel like as the years go by, there can be many opportunities to start a business on your own with the motivation of others. And in conclusion, there are many negatives for teenagers and adolescents while using their social media. Others should be informed before handing a cell phone to their child. So now I see that there's a lot of elementary kids. I feel like it's important for the parents to constantly be checking, especially with cyberbullying. So like checking on their child and informing them the positives and negatives of social media. Although it has negatives, teenagers can meet individuals who can inspire them to strive more. And the end. Thank you.